Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 104 of the regular season. Astros win 9-6 over the San Francisco Giants. What a game by the Houston Astros tonight. Oh, much good, much happiness from tonight. Much needed levity after the past 2 days where the Astros made basically no moves, and the only move that they did make was very depressing and despised by a lot of people. And I want to talk about the Miles Straw trade a little bit more before I more or less put it to bed for a very long while, right? I want to say one more piece on it before I let it go and just forget about it, which is I get why people are upset about it, and I am myself not happy with it. I would not have made that trade if I was James Click. But I think tonight is a perfect example. And really, this road trip is a good example. They have scored at least 8 runs in all of the games, including a 11-run game and tonight's 9-run game. The offense is fine. The offense is fantastic. The offense is rolling wonderfully. And so you can see why, in theory, James Click would look at that and say, yeah, we can do with 8 good offensive pieces, or even if you don't want to call it Maldonado, which I agree with, 7 really good, really solid offensive pieces. We can deal with that instead of 8 counting Straw, but we need bullpen help. And that was evident because most of the runs were scored off the bullpen. From the 6th inning on, 4 runs off of our bullpen. Granted, a few of them were unearned, I believe, both of them for Stanek, but you can see why he would look at that and say, I can live without that offensive part from Straw. We need help in the bullpen. Again, I don't fully agree with that. I wouldn't have done it. But I can see why, in theory, James Click would look at the team and go in that direction. And I just wanted to say that little more before I lay that to bed. Now, on to the actual game. Astros get started immediately. Altuve singles to lead off the game. Credit to Jose Altuve in that first at bat. Falling down, I believe it was 0-2, if I'm not mistaken, and then battles back, full count, gets a base hit, singles, Brantley would single, Yuli would then single to make it a 1-0 ball game, Jordan would fly out, Correa would walk, Tucker would then walk home and run after that to make it a 2-0 ball game, and then sadly Diaz and Maldonado would both strike out to end the inning, but they get a pair, it's all well and good, we're set. In the third, probably one of the weirder innings that I've seen, Framber Valdez, who's pretty noted for just sort of throwing in strikes and seeing what happens with ground balls, gets ahead of the 8th batter in their lineup, 1-2, and then would let them walk, which isn't ideal. And then the pitcher comes up, who the entire time is like hunched over like an older person at a buffet, clearly showing bunt. Like, there is no question. Like, he isn't even being subtle about it. Like, he might as well have a big cartoonish neon sign around him saying, I'm going to bunt, throw it in the strike zone. And Framber Valdez just wasn't able to touch the strike zone with him. And it was very head-scratching, and to the point where you're like, Framber, I'd rather you just give up a base hit to the pitcher than walk him in that sense. Like, that was very odd. That was just a complete head-scratcher. After that, it was rough. Sater? I'm going to call him Sater. That's how I'm going to pronounce that. Would single to make it a 2-1 ball game. And then after that, Buster Posey would double to make it 2-2. They tie it up, but that wouldn't stand for long because a little bit later on in the 5th inning, Jose Altuve, with a ball that was about here, like, that is about eye level, and he hits it on and I didn't think it could be accurate at first, a 39-degree launch angle that just skims over the outfield seats. It's gone. We're good. Jose Altuve, with one of the strangest home runs I've seen. I did see this on Twitter. That was the highest hit baseball that Altuve has hit a home run off of. Or I guess I should say the highest ball that he's hit a home run off of in his career, being... it was here on him if it was anywhere. It was Jose Altuve doing Jose Altuve things. He's out of this world. Still, to this point, on a 162 pace for 44 home runs, which is ridiculous. And actually, if you count the last 50 games, he's on a 64 or like a 61 homer pace. What are we witnessing? Anyway, next inning. The next inning would be more fun. Tucker would line out to start it. That wasn't great. Ledmus Diaz grounds out, but a bad error on the first baseman where he just couldn't quite pick the ball allows him to reach base. After that, Maldonado singles, Garcia walks, and up steps Jose Altuve. Now, if you're on Twitter, you might see that San Francisco Giants on NBC would tweet something out. Altuve struck out in this game, and he was quite frustrated on it, and I agree with him. They were some bad pitches that should not have been called strikes. He was upset and was just, throwing his bat around, being irate, or at least as irate as someone who is Jose Altuve can be. And they tweeted out, smash bat twice for off speed. And you can file that under tweets tweeted moments before disaster. Jose Altuve steps up after hitting a home run in his second at-bat previous, and says, you like one home run? What about two? But this one, every base is occupied. Jose Altuve, grand slam. I didn't see the launch angle on that one, but I would also assume that was pretty darn high. And just like that, it's 7-2 Astros. I mean, Jose Altuve has hit 3 grand slams this year. That is a statement I did not think I would say. Sorry, my brain can't compute. Jose Altuve is simply built different this season, and there's no other way to put it. Grand slam, man. The Astros would actually load the bases up a second time right after that. Brantley would single, Yuli would strike out, Jordan would walk, and Correa would walk, but Tucker would fly out to end the inning, bringing about the bottom of the 6th, where back-to-back doubles off of Blake Taylor would make it a 7-3 ball game. But you're okay. You're fine. You're right. We're good. We're good. Right, Stennett comes in the 7th. He struggles. Now, granted, the Tucker error, that was Kyle Tucker, man. You can't be doing that. That was bad. I'm going to give Tucker a bit of a pass because that was the first time where he's been the center fielder, and usually, traditionally, center fielders have to take a little bit more charge. And also, Brantley was playing right field instead of left field, which was just a weird thing to see tonight in the outfield. But that cannot happen. That hits you right in the glove. That was rough. Now, granted, Stanek wasn't great or anything tonight. He was pretty rough. But I'm also not going to put too much on him because that is an easy pop-out that Tucker just did not catch whatsoever. And then, after that, he would leave, and Kendall Graveman would come in. He would get a nice little ground out to end that inning. But they start to make it a little bit closer. Then it's 7-5. And then the 8th inning happens. Oh, man. Brantley grounds out to start. Yuli with a single. Ground out by Jordan moves him over to second. Correa doubles. I believe that was hit 109 off the bat. I believe that was the hardest hit baseball tonight. That would end up making it 8-5. And then Tucker would ground out. And then happy Western time. Kendall Graveman comes in to the bottom half of the 8th. And when I say that he had one of the more dominant innings that I've ever seen by an Astros pitcher, I truly mean that. That inning by Kendall Graveman was ridiculous. I understand that it's one inning. I understand that it is 3 outs, right? I get that. How did Seattle let this guy get away? How could you trade this guy? That sinker thrown by Kendall Graveman, the two-seam sinker, is unfair. A pitch like that should not be able to break the way it does with the movement of, realistically, a slider break, right? That's what it was reminiscent of, because it was breaking 2 ways, right? It was breaking into the right-handed batter's box, or it was just breaking straight down, and it would do a bit of both of those things tonight through that inning. It was thrown at 97 or 98. I believe one of them was at 99 on a sinker with that kind of movement, which is ridiculous. And the Giants batters just couldn't touch it. 3 strikeouts, and I mean, Graveman just embarrassed him in that inning. And if you're an Astros fan, you look at that, and I know that today was rough. The past couple days have been with the weird trades or the lack thereof. But you see Kendall Graveman do that, and you go, oh, we did make a good move. Oh, we made a move to get somebody who has absolutely just nasty, nasty stuff coming out of the bullpen. Oh my goodness gracious. The inning by Kendall Graveman tonight, I cannot emphasize, was one of the more impressive innings I've ever watched. Like, my jaw was on the ground basically from the first, like, 3 pitches onward. It was, whew. If that doesn't pump you up, I don't know what will. In the 9th, Aledmus Diaz would homer to make it a 9-5 game. And then Ryan Stressley? Yeah, Ryan's making me Stressley. Oh, that was really bad, but that's staying in the video. Ryan Presley struggles yet again in a non-safe situation. He would give up a run, a lot of base runners. That was a real sketchy inning. But we don't blow the lead. We get the win. We're all good and set. So, pitching lines before I talk about the offense. Framber Valdez was perfectly fine tonight. I thought he was okay. 5 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Nothing too shabby there. Pretty nice night from old Framber boy. Noted power hitter who was taking some swings and hacks. Blake Taylor, bit of a rough inning. 1 inning of work, 2 hits, an earned run. Got a strikeout though. Ryan Stanek, not ideal. 2 runs, both of them unearned. Gave up a walk and a pair of hits. But again, it was unearned, which it should tell you something. Kendall Graveman, the grave digger, which is what I believe Astros fans probably what they should call him from here on out, was absolutely just disgusting tonight. 1 1/3, 3 strikeouts. Mwah, chef's kiss, magnificent from him tonight. And Ryan Presley gives up 3 hits and a run in his inning of work, which was a bit not great, but he picks up a strikeout, so we're good. We're good. We got the win. Offensively, magnificent. Jose Altuve, 3 for 6, 3 runs scored, 5 RBIs, pair of home runs, including that grand slam. Brantley had 3 hits tonight and a run scored. Yuli had a pair of hits, an RBI and a run scored. Aledmus Diaz had a pair of hits. It was a magnificent night tonight for the offense, scoring 9 runs. Against probably the best team in Major League Baseball, the Giants, and the Astros say, we're right behind you with a outstanding performance. I believe with that, we now pull within a half game of them league-wide, which is very encouraging. Now, Oakland did win tonight, but we keep our lead there in the division. Still at 5.5 games because they won yesterday when we didn't play. Well, that's 2 days ago today, technically, because it's 2:10 in the morning, my time. Oh, boy, it's late. Anyway, that really was it for tonight's game. I can't get over the Kendall Graveman inning. That was a thing of beauty. That is, like, if I could get like a motion artwork, I'd put that everywhere in here. That was just gorgeous. Tomorrow we play at 4:05 Eastern Standard Time, so not a super late game, which thankfully. They will send out Alex Wood to the mound. He rolls in with a 3.65 ERA. We sent out Zach Greinke with a 3.48. Zach Greinke, noted power hitter, and I'm not saying that facetiously. He is actually a really good hitter for his career. And I'm really excited to see if Zach Greinke can get his 10th career home run, which that would be magnificent if he could. Can you imagine all of baseball? I know everybody hates us right now, but if Zach Greinke hits his 10th career home run, everyone is going to mutually set aside our differences and be like, okay, but that's amazing. That's incredible. That's beautiful right there. Before I end the video, I want to mention I'm a complete sellout. I've caved. I have a Twitter. I set up a Twitter tonight. It's Astros Wested. If you guys want to follow it, you can. I'm going to leave a link in the top comment, or the pinned comment, I guess I should say. You can go follow that. I'm going to try to live tweet most of the game tomorrow, or at least be active during the entire thing. So if you guys want to come over and just literally talk about anything, I'm probably going to be on that for most of the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, because I haven't really done anything like that. All of my work has been, after the game, talking about what happened. So that's going to be a bit of a different experience. And, yeah, hopefully you guys drop a follow, because I'm at 0 right now, mostly because I started it literally an hour ago at 1 a.m. And that is it for the day, for the game as well. I'll be here tomorrow. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros.